All right, Brandon Moreno versus Amir Albazi. Brandon Moreno. What do you say about Brandon Moreno? He's accomplished his last laugh moment in that Figgy saga. So when he lost to Pantoja, I wasn't too upset about it because Pantoja is just a beast, and he has a dangerous stylistic matchup for Brandon Moreno. And now we saw Brandon Moreno come back against Brandon Royval, and wasn't quite the Brandon Moreno we're used to. A lot of people said that he kind of slowed down a little bit. Possibly. He looked like he took a lot of damage in that Pantoja fight, and that goes down. It just kind of seems like something mentally checks out or something physically even checks out. He might be in his early 30s, I believe, but those fighter miles are going to pile up, and your body just can't do what you want it to do anymore. And everybody's clock is different. We just know that Father Time will take everybody eventually. But Amir Albazi, being a top contender that's coming in and wanting to fight someone like Brandon Moreno, to put his name in there and, get a lot done. I think Amir definitely is a good matchup for Brandon Moreno, because Moreno could still beat him, but Amir is still dangerous in his realm. He's always evolving, always. And he's training with, I believe, Henry Cejudo also, who has a history with Brandon Moreno. And that's like the thing. I don't know if Brandon Moreno is taking it that personally anymore after the Figgy saga, because he had the last laugh in that. And then they're sending another guy his way. And I guess it's just like, okay, Moreno's pretty chill with where his career is at and how things are going. And Moreno's already solidified himself in the UFC. It's almost like once you've got that satisfaction, and that might be the thing with Brandon Moreno right now that I'm seeing, is he's just satisfied with his career. When you're at the top levels, you're just, you're not hungry anymore, and you're satisfied with what you've done. I remember that's happened to me on a few occasions when I reached my goal and I was like, you know what, I'm good for a while, and then you coast and things like that happen. It's not just fighters exclusive. It happens to all of us. Some of us are just grateful human beings who get a goal done, completed, and then guess what? Hey, we're coasting a little bit because we're just celebrating that we achieved the mountain climb, and you got to take a breath before you climb that higher mountain. But Brandon Moreno with fighting, I don't think there's a higher mountain that he could possibly climb unless he gets way back into the game and just continues to, get momentum. But I think he's going to start to become a win some, lose some type gatekeeper for guys like this. So this fight's going to tell a lot. If he loses this fight, it's safe to say prime Brandon Moreno is no longer around anymore, and his career is going to be on the decline. And then at that point, I think he should move up to 135, face Henry Cejudo for a fan service fight, and then call it even, because I think that's that. Or even if he beats Amir Albazi, he decides to go up and say, hey, Henry Cejudo, want to face at 135. So either way, this could come back and circle back to a Brandon Moreno versus Henry Cejudo fight. And I think that's what the fans kind of want to see at this point. Because honestly, both Cejudo and Moreno, I feel like should be doing more fan service right now before they think about making any sort of title climb or anything like that. Because they both have something to offer the octagon. But is it championship caliber that they're ready to offer the octagon again? And Brandon Moreno, one of the best guys at 125 who we never thought was going to be a champion. Henry Cejudo, double champ, who we never saw coming, beat Demetrius Johnson, very close fight. Schools beat TJ Dillashaw and all that stuff. So you look at their careers, they should both be very content with where they're at. They might just be hungry. I don't know. I'm not reading their minds or anything like that. But I think that could potentially be a thing. I think Amir is just a fighter in this game who's just going to be the opponent opposite, who happen to be under the right circumstances to be facing across from Brandon Moreno. But this is going to tell a lot, So if Moreno gets his hand raised, I think he's still got stake in the flyweights, but should he stay in the flyweights anymore, even if he's got something to offer it? Or should he go and fight Steve Ursag? Or I feel like that should be Brandon Royval's job. Maybe Tatsuro Taira should fight Steve Ursag. and they should let there go. But Moreno should probably move up a weight class, not cut too much weight, and probably do a couple things at 135, which definitely can. Cejudo fight being the number one thing, I think a lot of us would really want to see, you know? So I think that this is just a wind down period. There's not a whole lot of pressure on this fight, but it is going to tell what's going to go down in the future. But that's what I think. We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to this one. I can't really call it, but I'm happy to see Amir back. I'm happy to see Brennan back right after UFC in Mexico, where he was facing Brandon Royval. I'm pretty sure he wants to go back, get back in the win column after 2 back-to-back losses, because that Royval fight was very close, even though Brandon Moreno didn't show up 100 like we thought he was going to. But you know what? We'll have to wait and see. Yada, yada, yada. Peace out. See you on the next.